As cutting-edge technological advancements continue, it has become increasingly more challenging to define cyber assaults as attacks or acts of war. But one element remains clear: cyber strikes have the potential to cause unprecedented, catastrophic losses. Therefore, NATO must best allocate current and expected resources towards an alliance-wide cybersecurity program covering both extremes of the cyber spectrum. NATO was formed to counter a rival nation-state in a conventional war, but this threat model is no longer sufficient to address contemporary threats. Therefore, organizational changes, capability development, and technology advances are needed to align with NATO's threat analysis. To be successful, NATO must place additional emphasis on cyber capabilities, both defensive and offensive, beginning with a legal framework. Through the decades, NATO has evolved with the times. At the 2014 NATO summit in Wales, allies recognized that international law does apply in cyberspace and that the impact of cyber attacks could be as harmful to member countries as a conventional attack. As a result, cyber defense was affirmed as part of NATO's core task of collective defense. At the Warsaw Summit in 2016, allies identified cyberspace as a domain of operations, just like air, land, and sea. This enables NATO's military commanders to better protect missions and operations from cyber threats. However, NATO does not have the same level of expertise in the cyber domain as in the land, sea, and air domains. Achieving full command of the cyber domain is made more difficult by the speed of relevancy of cyber technologies. Thus, the question remains: what technological, operational, or policy innovations would have the greatest effect on achieving and maintaining NATO superiority in the cyber domain? Many in the information security field advocate for a moonshot or Cyber Manhattan project that expends a massive effort to improve cybersecurity or develop a capability that provides unquestionable cyber deterrence. While a moonshot or a program of that magnitude may be necessary in the future, considerable progress toward NATO's goals in the cyber domain for the near and medium term can be achieved through the application of existing technologies and promising new frameworks for public-private cooperation. A major priority in the near term is the addition of a cyber competency within the alliance, acting as both a center of excellence showcasing best practices and an innovation hub. In this setting, vision, academia, and operational elements collaborate with the goal of increasing readiness and capability levels while creating an environment promoting innovation and automation. The role of cyber capabilities on the battlefield is evolving as military forces discover the advantages of superior information security. However, most cyber attacks will not produce destructive effects similar to kinetic weapons, but will instead seek to disrupt data and services, sow confusion, damage networks, and computers' machinery. Offensive cyber operations used in this manner would strike military, government, and potentially civilian targets, such as critical infrastructure in the opponent homeland used to support war efforts. The significance and potential impact of a cyber influence operation or political attack was demonstrated during Russia's interference in the 2016 U.S. elections, and similarly in Ukraine, where Russia illustrated their willingness to weaponize election interference. Russia is also suspected of engaging in election interference in 19 other EU countries, many of them NATO members and partners. Following research and interviews, primary recommendations are: expand cyber education options, specifically cyber hygiene, to every employee throughout the alliance. Establish a Cyber Geneva Convention to approve ground rules and boundaries, specifically regarding Articles 3 and 5 Consensus on Cyber Activity. Cyber competency acting as an innovation hub connecting academia, the private sector, and operational elements promoting collaboration beyond basic education and training. designate election security as an emerging security challenge, and assist allies with election infrastructure defense. By leveraging these scalable, cost-effective, and high-impact innovations, NATO can continue to develop and maintain superiority in the cyber domain in the face of new challenges and threat actors.